big warm welcome from Singapore. This is your first time here. I think he deserves a big round of applause for being here. Just after playing Asia Cup, it was a tough tournament and Rohit has made it here. So thank you so much, Rohit, and a big congratulations for winning the tournament. It was quite a tournament. A shaky start against Hong Kong, 2 convincing victories against Pakistan, a tie with Afghanistan, and then winning the final on the last ball. Every emotion for the team and every emotion and experience for us fans as well.
Yes, I think so. I think if you ask the people who came at the stadium, they only wanted us to beat Pakistan. The first game against Hong Kong, it was quite a close game. A lot of the guys traveled from England, came back to India. They had only a day or two.
True.
And they came back to Dubai. And I'm sure everyone here must be aware of the conditions there. It was quite hot, and none of us have played in such heat before. Although we come from India, where heat is not a factor,
it's not the same. Yeah.
But we don't play during that time of the year where it's 40 degree. I come from Mumbai. Mumbai is never 40 degrees. It gets humid, but it's not that hot. I'm not giving an excuse, but I'm just saying it's sometimes it's not easy, and people right from ball one or start expecting us to do great things, which sometimes cannot happen. You have to wait for the opportunity. You have to wait for the right time. And yes, sometimes you got to give credit to the opposition also. When you don't do well, people talk about how bad you were. They're not thinking about how good Hong Kong were. If you look at the entire tournament, opposition have also come to play and win tournaments. It's not just about India going there and performing and winning the cup. Also, you got to see at the other teams who's fighting and trying to achieve best for their country also.
Rohit, take us through that dressing room on Friday when that last ball was being bowled. Must be full of nerves.
Let me tell you, I've been part of this last ball finish quite a bit for my IPL team in Mumbai Indians. So I'm quite used to last ball finish. The last 2 overs I was sleeping inside the dressing room. I was not watching the game. And the same thing happened in Sri Lanka also when we played Bangladesh and we won the Nidhas trophy.
That's true.
It was a last ball finish where Dinesh Karthik hit that massive 6 when we required 5 runs of last ball. I was inside the dressing room. I was not watching it because it's I don't know how to express that feeling, but it's so you don't want to watch it because you don't know, you're nervous, anything can happen, so you don't want to watch it. So that's me. Everyone is different, and I was inside, and when that Kuldeep Yadav hit that slog sweep and he got 2 runs, that's when I knew that we're going to win this game, because till then anything could have happened. Because after that it was Yuzvendra Chahal and Bumrah, and we all know how they bat. So
Kapil Dev once told me, Rohit, that when India used to play against Pakistan in his times, it was almost like going to war. And Wasim Akram said that it's a pressure like no other, because everybody, people on the streets, your family, your friends, everybody whom you meet before the match, the only thing they say, you har ki nahi aana, you have to win. And it's a lot of pressure. You had 2 very, very good victories against Pakistan in Asia Cup, and if I may add, very easy, or you made them look very easy. Are they any sweeter than any other victories that you have had as captain?
These 2 games were quite sweet, as I would say, as a captain. But I've been part of that World Cup final as well.
That's
T20 World Cup final in South Africa. I think that was the best game that I've played against Pakistan, India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan have this rivalry going for a long, long time now. And if you ask any cricketer who's been part of that game, yes, it's a cricket match. It's an important game, but for us, it's another opposition that we are playing. Yes, you are absolutely right when you say that when we are walking on the street, people do talk about how important it is for us to win that game. But as a cricketer, as a player, for us, we try and think that it's just a game that we are playing against an opposition, and it's a good opposition that we're going to play. We just have to play what we play against, let's say Australia or England. You got to treat every opposition in a similar fashion and focus on your job at hand. So whichever individual can do that, he'll come out on top in that situation.
What does winning a tournament of this nature mean to Rohit Sharma?
Means a world, because it's the first major tournament that I was leading in the 50-over format. So it was a big tournament. Few of the players were rested as well. So we had a point to prove as an individual, not to anyone, but for us. We never played in Dubai. This team has never played in Dubai. And once the tournament started, the message was very clear to the boys. I told one thing, that all the conditions and not having enough experience of playing in this stadium, we have to leave everything aside. We have to play. We have to focus on the job at hand now. Yes, condition is 40 degrees, but it is for them also. The opposition team also is playing in that heat. So I think when you have those 11 guys moving in the same direction, you will get rewarded and you will get the result that you're looking for.
If you talk about your captaincy, Rohit, of course, Asia Cup, like you mentioned, was a big opportunity, and you performed both with bat and as a captain. We all saw you on the field, and you were remarkable. When one sees you captaining and the calmness that's there, one gets reminded of MS. How big an influence has he been on you?
See, I think we all played under him. One thing, he made it very clear that he was going to stand for all the youngsters and give them enough opportunity to prove, because I believe thoroughly now, sitting here, that all these opportunities are important. And you need that freedom as a young player when you come into the team. You need that freedom, which I think MS Dhoni at the start restored in all of us, that he gave us that assurance, that no matter what happens, we are here to back you, and just go out there and enjoy the game. Do not think about pressure. Do not think about what you want to do. Of course, you have to think about what you want to do. I put myself in that situation now and think about the other youngsters who have come into the team. For them to settle, to make their place, to cement their place, they need that freedom. And if I'm in that position now to tell them that, okay, you go and do what you want to do as a player. Do not worry about failures, because if you worry about failures, success will never follow. So I think important is to focus on the process and enjoy the game. I try and take like a minute or two, or maybe more, to think before I make any decision, because you have to think about so many things when you are captaining the side, and you have to think about a lot of things and about the other players also.
And now, Rohit, after winning Asia Cup, everyone is talking about World Cup 2019, and rightly so. It's less than a year away. Do you think we are ready with this team, that the one that we have currently? Because there are lots of talks about the middle order being slightly shaky, some people not being able to finish matches like they used to finish earlier. So do you think in the next 8-9 months, we will have a team that can possibly repeat 2011?
80% of the squad, or maybe rather 90% of the squad, is ready. It's just about one or two guys who will fit in that position that they need to. But before that, I think we're playing about 15 to 18 ODIs before the World Cup starts. So that will give us a fair idea of where we stand as a team. Now we're going to play a lot of ODIs after this. So I think taking that into consideration, a lot of the guys will have opportunity to prove themselves and make their claim for that particular spot, whichever that can be. So I think it is up to the individual how they want to grab that opportunity. But I still believe that whoever they pick or whoever they back for the next few series, they have to give them a fair run before anything happens or before you make any decision. Because if you keep changing and chopping, it's not going to benefit the guy, and it's not going to benefit the team as well.
That's not something that we've seen in one-day cricket. We see that in Test cricket as well.
Now that I've been in that selection process, I know how the selectors and the coach, captain, and the management works, or they think, because I understand the pressure is on them also, because they want, to get the team right. They want to get the players right. So hence, all that chopping and changing happens because they want to find the right guy for that particular spot. If I am in that position, I can only say that, okay, whoever you're trying to bring in to the squad, make sure that he gets a fair run, because it is very, very important, and chopping and changing never helps anyone. So it is important that we try and do that, whichever format it doesn't matter. Any player who is striving for excellence or striving to do his best, format doesn't matter, because they want to, at the end of the day, they want to play cricket for their country, and the process has to be the same for all formats. It cannot change for Test and something different for ODI and something different for T20.
It's interesting that you say that, Rohit, because Virendra Sehwag was saying somewhere that, one of the big reasons for him and Gautam Gambhir doing really well as test openers was because they were opening for India in one-day cricket and T20 as well. So they had the rhythm, they had the tuning, and it was all going very well for them. And he thought that you and Shikhar should be given that opportunity in test cricket as well, because you're doing that for one-day and T20.
Opportunity is something that I always look forward to, and wherever it comes, it doesn't matter. But yes, it's not an easy task. In test matches is a completely different ball game, and I got to be mentally ready for it before I am told. They cannot just come and tell me that tomorrow is the game and you're opening tomorrow. It has to be planned in well in advance to make sure that everything goes right.
Rohit, when you didn't make it to the England squad, you had tweeted, "Sun will rise again." I'm sure a lot of thinking, pondering has happened since then. What is the conclusion?
No, it was a general thought, because every day is a new day, every day is a fresh day. Don't look at what has happened in the past. So that was the only message, and that message was for everyone, not because I was not picked for the test squad or anything like that, because I wanted to say to the world that, okay, there'll be a fresh day tomorrow and I'll do something different tomorrow.
Rohit, how important it is to remember where you come from, your starting point of your journey for when you reach the top.
It is very important. I would like to say that, give that as a message, but again, every individual takes it differently. But for me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to forget where I've come from, my roots, which is why, when I do my things, it shows sometimes on the field. But again, it's the qualities that my father and mother have brought me up with, telling me not to get carried away quickly in your life, because it can change around any time. So be humble, and just work towards your goal all the time.
So, Rohit, you're very active on social media. So is social media like a place for you to let out, connect to your fans, or does the trolls and negativity of social media get on to you from time to time?
I use my social media to send messages across to the world. I do a lot of social activity on my social media. And that's what I keep saying to a lot of my teammates as well. Like, use your social media in a right way, and use it to your advantage. You've got a great platform where you can send a message like in a second, and it'll reach to so many people.
And how does it feel when you get trolled by your wife?
We keep trolling each other every time. That's the fun thing that we do on social media, And people tend to like it. Sometimes some people don't tend to like it, but that's part and parcel. But what is important is how we feel about each other. That's the most important thing. And we have no issues. We take things in the right manner. So
how's the partnership at home, Rohit? Are you allowed to talk about cricket, and who leads in that partnership?
We used to discuss a lot before, but we've drastically cut it down a lot, because even she understands that, it shouldn't be cricket all the time. He needs to take his mind away and think about something else. So we talk about animals and what we can do. So she's the one who got me into all of raising awareness about animals. She's the one who told me, why don't you use your platform to raise awareness rather than posting selfies and all that. Why don't you do that? And it was, I think I really appreciated that in a second.
What does Rohit Sharma like to do in his free time?
Looking at the calendar of the Indian team, I don't think we get a lot of free time. But now, since I'm not part of the test team, when we came back from England, I had a lot of time to reflect on my game, analyze how I can get better as a player, how I can get better as a person and human being, and husband as well. So a lot of things. I got time to reflect, and I spend a lot of time with my family, because I don't think in the last 4 or 5 years I've spent a lot of time with my family, especially my mother and father. So it was good in a way. I would look at it in a positive way. That break that I got, I wouldn't say break, I was dropped from the squad, so it's not a break. I got time to reflect on my personal career, and also got a lot of time to spend with my family.
We hope you don't get a lot of those kind of breaks too often, Rohit.
I hope so too.
And whether you have performed well as a husband, I think only Ritika can answer that question. If we can get the mic to her, I think we should get a reaction from her. Are you ready to tell us the truth?
I'm quite looking forward to that.
So there you go. He was looking forward to this moment.
She doesn't like the mic.
No, he is a good husband, yes.
So that's spoken like a really nice, sweet wife.
Simple and sound.
Thank you, Rohit Sharma. It was a pleasure talking to you, and you're being so candid, so open, and really made this evening very, very special.